For our final segment today, we share an inspiring message and an urgent challenge being issued from inside the dungeons of Iran. Do not be afraid of jail. Be afraid of living and being indifferent. These words were reportedly issued from inside prison in Iran, sent as a challenge to the outside world. As the International Emergency Committee to Free Iran's Political Prisoners Now has recently written, this quote captures the spirit of many political prisoners in Iran. Millions in Iran who rose up in recent months against the Islamic Republic have shown incredible courage. Some carry homemade protest signs that read, "A death with dignity is better than a life lived in humiliation." This spirit has also stood out in recent months among the women political prisoners in the notoriously brutal Evin prison in Iran's capital of Tehran. They set an example of fearlessness under extreme conditions from behind the prison walls. They have gone on hunger strikes and sit-ins. They've issued group appeals, sung protest songs to send out to the world outside the prisons, and they staged prison theater to call for a stop to the attacks on students and for the fall 2022 uprising to continue. And they have done all this in the face of daily brutality, including extended solitary confinement and threats of beatings or rape. They come from different walks of life and from a broad spectrum of political, religious, and ideological viewpoints so that their actions may embolden the struggles outside the prison walls for justice, radical change, and a much better world. So here I want to read part of a statement that was issued by 30 women in Evin prison just a few days ago on January 22nd. Among those who issued this statement were the writer Sepideh Golian, women's rights activist and German-Iranian citizen Nahid Tagavi, and environmentalists Nilufar Bayani and Sepideh Kashani. Quote, "We, the political and ideological prisoners of the women's ward of Evin prison, demand an end to the execution of protesters and an end to unjust sentences of prisoners in Iran. We have all been sentenced to a total of 124 years in prison through unfair and untransparent procedures, which is worth a few generations of human life." End quote. Finally, we share an incredible recording that was made by Ghazal Abdullahi while she was speaking to her mother, the journalist Aliyeh Motalabzadeh, as well as the human rights activist Narges Mohammadi, both of whom were locked inside Evin prison. In a moment, you will hear those two women's courageous voices, along with other women political prisoners, as they join together to sing the internationally famous anti-fascist anthem, Bella Ciao, in Farsi. And we will accompany this recording with some of the faces of the women political prisoners who signed the letter I quoted from a moment ago, as well as images of the beautiful recent uprising in Iran. As Abdullahi wrote when she posted this recording on Instagram, "Listen to their voices and feel their hope. They are singing for you." Indeed, what shines through in these recordings is these women's joy, their yearning for life and freedom, and their desire to impart that spirit to the world outside the ugly walls that surround them. The people of the world, all of us with a conscience, must stand with, defend, and fight to free these political prisoners.
اینو گوش کنیم. یک دو سه. خاک این گندم تو خیابونه خوشه خشم من و تو تشنه